Welcome back to this course, and today in this section we are going to learn about something new that is called web scraping. Okay, so without wasting any time, I want to tell you that in this section we are going to create a movie app that will scrape data from the website. This project is not going to use an API to get data. In fact, this project will get data by using web scraping. So first of all, let's see what we are going to build in this section. Okay, so this is a movie app. You can see that search a movie here. Now we have to provide a movie link here, and when we click on the search movie, we are redirected toward the /result page, and on that page we have all the data of that movie that is not fetched from an API. In fact, we have used web scraping to get that data. Okay, so if I simply click on here, you can see that this is the moviedb.org that we have used in our previous section when we build our movie app using API, and now in this section we're going to build that project with the web scraping. Okay, so first of all, I simply select movies here because I want to scrape movies. For example, if I just copy the URL from here, if I simply open that first of all, and I simply copy their link, copy that, and I paste it here, Control V, and click on search movie, you can see that a browser has been popped up to scrape the data. Now while web scraping, the Chrome runs in the background. This is basically Chromium that runs in the background and scrape the data of that website. And you can see that here the search results for 1917 movie. You can compare its name here. The year is 2019. You can see its overview here at the height of First World War, and same is here. Then the user score, which is 81%, same here. And then the feature crew, which is this director and screenplay. You can see that we also have their names here. Okay, and also we have image of that movie here like this. And we are going to build this project not by using API. We are going to build this project by using the web scraping. Okay, so let's test another movie. If I go back and also select movie from here like this, Joker, and copy its link from here, simply I paste it here and click on search movie. You can see that Chrome has been started here for that movie, and you can see the result here, search result for Joker, and Joker 2019. You can see it's 83% user score, and there are 5 feature crew on this page, and we also have 5 here. Okay, so this is not a very complex project, but this is the basic project that will help you to understand about web scraping and how we can use the web scraping to build our applications. Okay, so in our next project, when we build our final project about Walmart inventory software, then we're also going to use web scraping in that project. Okay, so in that project you will have a better idea that how it is used in real world. Basically that project is built for a real client. Okay, so I am building that project with the permission of that client. So this is the project, basic project we're going to build in this web scraping section. So I will see you in the next video. Welcome back to this course. So in this video we are basically going to focus on that what is web scraping and with what packages we are going to use in this project basically. Okay, so first of all, what is web scraping? Web scraping is a technique, you can say that help us to crawl, to fetch a data from the websites. Okay, we know that we can use the API to fetch data, but web scraping is another option to fetch or scrape data from the websites. Okay, for example, we want to scrape this Wikipedia page, which is computer programming. Now I will use some piece of code that will scrape this text and give it in my application. Okay, so we have to scrape this website to get this data. Okay, now in this project we are going to use 2 packages. First one is this Puppeteer and second one is this Chereo. Okay, so first package, you can see that Puppeteer is a node library which provides a high level API to control Chrome or Chromium over the dev tool protocols. Chromium runs headless by default but can be configured to run full non-headless Chrome or Chromium. What this package is going to do is we give the link of that page to this package, and this basically package or module will load that page in the Chrome, and after loading that we get the HTML of that page by the help of this package. And after this package give us the HTML, we are going to pass that HTML in this Chereo package. And this Chereo package basically what do is when we pass, you can see that here we pass the HTML, then Chereo will load that HTML in itself and store in this $sign, and then we can use the $sign to scrape our websites. If you know about jQuery, then it is pretty much like that. Okay, so we use $sign and we can use the jQuery to fetch our data. So these are two packages that we're going to use to scrape our websites. You can see its weekly downloads. There are over 3.7 million downloads for Cheerio, and there are 1.2 million plus downloads for this package. So these are two packages that we're going to use to scrape our websites. In this video, we're going to scrape this simple page of Wikipedia. We're going to scrape its title and some text. And in our next video, we will start building our movie app. So first of all, let's see how we can scrape this page. I go to my Visual Studio Code and create a new folder in the lecture files with the name. I type here movie app scraping like that. I press enter, and in this, first of all, I'm going to create a new file with the name app.js. First of all, we have to type here const express, definitely our framework with Node. I'm going to require here express, and after that we have to type here const app equals to the express. After that we have to also import the path equal to require path, and after that we have to also import our two packages, that is puppeteer equals to require puppeteer, and after that we also have to require our Cheerio and I simply type here Cheerio. Okay, so after that I simply first of all set my view engine. Basically we have to use these all middlewares in our next project, in our next video when we'll discuss about movie app, but we set that it in this video so that we save our time in our next video. Okay, so I simply type here path dot join directory name and the views to set up our views directory, and also we have set up our view engine. So simply type here set view engine, that is EJS. Okay, so now we have to scrape a website and we have to display its result on the console for this application. Okay, so first of all I create a async function here because we have to await for that page to load, and then we have to scrape our result. So we can only use await keyword in the async function. So simply type here async function and a function with the name scrape data. In it we have to pass a URL and a page. Okay, and first of all we have to write our piece of code in try catch block to avoid all the errors, and I simply type here console.log error like that. Okay, and in this first of all we have to scrape our website. Before that I create another function which is async function for this video to check that function. So simply type here async function, type here get results like that, and in this I'm simply going to first of all create my browser because we have to open a browser, and in that browser we have to open a page. Okay, so I simply declare browser globally here, let browser. Okay, so we have to first of all open a browser to scrape our website. So I simply type here browser equals to await. We have to await for it to completely open. Then we have to type here puppeteer dot launch. We have to launch that Chrome browser, and we have to pass something here that is called headless. Okay, so if I type here true, then our Chrome is not going to pop up. If I type here false, this means that we want to see the Chrome in the background. Okay, so if I type a headless true, then it will not give me the Chrome browser. And after that, in that browser we have to open a page. So I simply type here const page equals to await, and then I type here browser dot new page. So this basically loads a new tab in the browser. Okay, so we open a new tab in the browser, and in that we have to load our basically link. Okay, so for that I simply call my function with await, because we have to wait for the complete website load, and we pass the scrape data, the URL first of all, and after that we have to pass the page. Okay, so URL will be this time hard coded, so I simply go back to my Chrome browser and copy this link from here, Control C, and I go back and paste it right here. We want to scrape this URL. Okay, and definitely we have to store it in a variable. Simply type here data equals to, okay, so I simply go to top, and now we have to write here code that will scrape data from that link. So I simply type here await page, that is this one we have passed from there, dot go to the URL, which is this one, which we have passed from there, this one URL. So simply page dot go to this URL, and after that we have to pass some additional parameters. I simply type here wait until. Okay, so simply type wait until load. So we have to wait until the loading time. Then also we have set up the timeout here, because sometimes internet connection is slow, so we have to type here timeout 0 to save from those type of errors. Okay, so we have go to that page and load that page, and after we have to get the HTML from that page. So I simply create a variable here with the name HTML equals to, we have to await page dot evaluate, and in this function we have to type an arrow function basically that will give here is document dot body dot inner HTML, like that. In this way we get our HTML. So we evaluate that page and get the document.inner HTML of that page and store that inner HTML in this HTML variable. And now we have to pass this HTML to our Cherio to load in itself, and then we can use our $sign like jQuery. Okay, so I simply type here const dollar equals to Cherio dot load, and we simply pass hit HTML. Okay, so it basically gets the HTML from this and load it in itself and stored in that $sign, and we can use this $sign to basically scrape our websites. Okay, so now we get this $sign. If I go back to my Chrome browser and click on this inspect, and first of all let's see how we can scrape that. I'll simply select that from here like this, and you can see that it has h1 tag. Simple as that. If I go to the console and type here h1 dot text method and press enter, you can see that I get computer programming. Here we have scraped the title of tag page. Okay, so h1 tag, we will scrape this heading with the h1 tag. So I simply go back and I type here let title equals to this $, and we pass in the h1 dot text like that. Okay, and let's return this. So I simply type here return, and we return this title like that. Okay, and here I simply console.log the data.title like this. And also we have to call this function here, that is get results like that. And I think we are good to go. And now let's install our packages. First of all, I simply type here clear. So first of all I type here npm, and before that I go to cd and I go to the movie app scraping, and in first of all I type here npm init-y to initialize our application and to create package.json file, and then I type here npm I express ejs path puppeteer cherio and --save. I'm going to tell you that this puppeteer package is quite a big package. It is going to also install the Chromium with itself, that is about 150 MB, so it takes time. So I'm going to pause the video after pressing the enter, and when all the packages get installed I will resume this video back again. Okay, so I press enter, and now I'm going to pause this video. So all packages are successfully installed in this application. You can see that node modules here, and now we have to run this application first of all. So I simply type here node app.js. Okay, So this time we don't have to go to the Chrome browser because we don't have dedicated our listener. We run it here. Okay, you can see that it is opened here, this link, and now you can see that we also have scraped the title of this website, that is computer programming. Okay, and you can see that this Chrome browser is loaded in the background because we have written that headless false. If I type there true, then I will don't see this Chrome. Okay, now if I want to close this browser after scraping, I can do here is, after just logging this data, we have to browser.close. We have to close that browser also. Okay, so now if I save here and run this program once again, type here node app.js, you can see that Chrome is loaded successfully here. Now it will load that link that we provided to it, which is computer programming, and after loading that, and you can see that the Chrome goes and we get our computer programming here. Okay, now let's scrape something more from that website. So I simply go back to my Chrome browser, and now if I want to scrape this paragraph, then I simply click on that and click on here. You can see that this is the p tag, and here is all that result. So what I do is I simply scrape all the paragraphs from here. So what I do is simply go back. If I just go here and type here $, to quickly select that, and I type here p tag and dot text, you can see that I get all the paragraphs on that pages. Okay, you can see that there are more. If I want to select only first paragraph, what I do is simply go back to here and I hover over this paragraph and right click on that and click on copy, and then copy selector. If I go back and here at the bottom I type here $, and in this I type that link. You can see that paragraph nth child, that is 3. Now if I click on enter, we also have write the text with that function to see its text. You can see that we get the first paragraph. Okay, so now let's use this query to scrape the first paragraph. So I simply copy that from here, Control C, go back and I type here let description equals to this. Okay, we also have to return this description from here. I simply type here comma, then do that. Okay, now also I simply Control CV here and type here data.description like that. So I simply save that. Okay, so now let's run it. First of all, I type here node app.js like that. You will see the browser that will pop up and open a new tab, in which in that tab it will load that link. Okay, you can see that here. And after scraping the data, the browser is closed, and if I can show you here, you can see that this is a paragraph and this is the title. So in this way we are scraping data from a website without using an API. Okay, so this is the very basic example of web scraping, and in the next video we are going to build our movie app through web scraping that I have shown you in my first video. Okay, so I hope that you understand what we have done in this video. And one more thing here, if I type here, which is headless to true, press enter, and now if I save that and run this program once again, node app.js, and you can see that I don't get any Chrome browser here because I have set headless to true, and you can see that our data has been scraped successfully without loading that, without showing that Chrome browser here. So it totally depends upon you that you want to see the Chrome or not, but I will recommend you while development you have to make it headless to false so that you can see that which page is loading at which time. Okay, so I hope that you understand, and in our next video we are going to build our movie app, so I will see you in the next video. Okay, so welcome back to this course. So from this video we are going to start building our movie app by using the web scraping. Okay, so this is the previous code that we have used in our first video. Previous video in which I built our simple scraper app that scrapes this Wikipedia page. Now we have to scrape the URLs basically of movies. Okay, so for that I simply first of all I remove this from here, this method, and also I am simply going to create a new folder here with the name views. Folder views, and the views I'm going to create a new file with the name search.ejs, and one more view with the name results.ejs. Okay, And I'm going to also put my public folder here. So I simply type here new folder public, and this folder I'm going to create a new folder with the name style sheets. So I just rename that. And in this style sheet folder, I'm going to create a new file with the name design.css, like that. Okay, so I already have my HTML and CSS here. So I simply first of all copy my CSS from here, Control A, Control C. This is just simple HTML and CSS. Don't have to confuse with that. Simply save that, close it. Then I go to my search.ejs and I simply go back to my Sublime and copy this simple form that has one field and one button. Simply copy that and I go back to my Visual Studio and paste it right here, save that. And now I go back to my Sublime and copy this markup, which is the result page, and I go back to my Visual Studio and paste it right here. Okay, simply save that. And also I have set up here public directory. So I type here app.use express.static and I type here public, like that. Okay, and I simply save that, and after that at the bottom I have to write my routes. First of all, I type here app.listen on 3000, and then I type here a callback, and this I type a single line, that is console.log server started at port 3000, like that. Okay, and after that I have to listen, or sorry, I have to create a route for the /search, and I simply type here request response, and in here I simply type res.render the search.ejs, like that. And also I have to get my /results. So for that I simply type here app.get /results and then request response, and I simply type here res.render the results.ejs, like that. Simply save that, and now let's test it first of all. So what I do is I simply type here nodemon. Okay, so you can see that already in use 3000. So I simply change it to 4000, like that, and simply save that, and now you can see that server started at port 4000, like that. I simply go back to my Chrome browser and type here localhost port 4000/search, and you can see that view is not a constructor. If I go back and let's see me first of all, so app.get /results/search, I have in my results EJS. So if I just check that view is not okay, so I go back and check first of all here. So here is views. Okay, so I have here S, and now if I save that and I go back and reload that, you can see that our first of all this search form is ready to use. And now if I go to /results, you can see that this is the hard-coded values. So this is our basically the output that we're going to get. If I go back to my Visual Studio Code, you can see in the result.ejs, first of all I have this image. I have hard-coded that URL, and that is just using bootstrap classes image, card image, and image fluid. That has column 4, and in column 8 we have the body of that card that has title. This one, which is hard-coded here, everything is hard-coded. we have to replace it dynamically. So this is just the page, simple HTML with simple CSS, and now we have to replace all the text with our basically data that we scraped from that website. Okay, so for that I simply go back to my app.js, and I have to first of all delete these two lines, console.logs, and I have to first of all make this function async, because we have to use await keyword and we have to basically make it a synchronous function. So simply cut these lines from here and paste them right here. Okay, and we have to pass here the URL, and this URL will come from that form that user will enter. So for that I simply type here let URL equals to request dot query dot search. Okay, and that will be sent from here. You can see that it goes to / results with get request, and it will give that query to us. Okay, and we will pass that URL in this function, and function will scrape the data and give back to us, and then we can use that data and render our templates. Okay, so I just also remove these two from here. I remove these two from here like that. Okay, so in our next video we are going to write our code that will help us to scrape data from that movie website. Okay, so I will see you in the next video. Okay, so welcome back to this course. So now let's start building our movie app once again. So now we have to scrape data from the website. For that I simply go to the website, that is the moviedb.org, and first of all you have to see that how we can scrape data from that website. Okay, so I simply go to the movies here, and I open any movie from here like this Joker, or I just move this one, open this one, and the very first thing we have to do here is just all we have to scrape this title Joker. Okay, so I simply go to inspect, and you can see that it is h2 tag. So this is just simple h2 tag. So I go back and I type here first of all let title equals to $h2 tag, which we have also done in our previous video with the h1 tag, and I type here text method. Okay, so we get our title first of all, and then I go back and we have to scrape this year from here. Okay, so I simply select this year from here, and you can see that with the class release date. If I go to the console and type here $, and I type here dot and this class which is the release date, I just copy that from here and paste it right here, and then I just type here text, and you can see that I get 2019 here. Okay, so I simply copy this code from here, Control C, and I paste it right here. Just type here let release date equals to this one. Okay, so after we have to scrape this overview, this is paragraph. Okay, so for that I simply have to just click on it and select this paragraph, and you can see that this paragraph is in this overview class. So I simply copy this overview from here, go to the console, and I type here $, this class, and in that class we have to select the p tag. Okay, now if we want to select any inner element of the outer element, then we simply type this arrow, this diamond bracket here. So simply in dot overview, which is the class, and in that we have to scrape that paragraph. Okay, so dot overview, then the paragraph, and when we convert it to text, if I press enter, you can see that we get our paragraph right here at the height of the First World War. You can see that here. Okay, so I simply copy that from here, simple, and paste it here like let overview equals to this one. Okay, and after that I have to scrape this user score, which is 85%, and here it is 81%. Okay, So for that I have to just select that score, and if I just see it, you can see that it is inside this here. So in the div tag you can see that data percent, that is 81%. So this is attribute, we have to select this attribute. Okay, so for that I simply copy this, first of all class, go to the console, first of all I clear it here, and I type here $, then this class, and you can see that in this class we have this attribute that is data percent. So simply copy that from here, and now I'm going to use .attrr method, which stands for attribute, and we have to select the attribute which is this one. Okay, so to press enter, you can see that we get an error here. Attribute is not a function. You will get error here, but when we use this in our Visual Studio, then you will see that it will work fine. Okay, so it gives error here, but it is fine because we have to select this attribute that is data percentage. So we simply type .user_chart and then this .attribute method that will select this. Okay, so in this case we get the error, but when we type in the Visual Studio Code, we are going to get the perfect result. Okay, so simply type here let user score equals to this one. Sorry, go back and copy that from there. So I simply copy it and I go back and paste it right here. Okay, so title, release date, overview, user score, and now we have to also, I go back and let's see it. First of all I have to scrape this image. Okay, so what I do is I simply, you can see that if I close it from here, when I hover over it, you can see that it gives the option of expand, and then we get the image here. So I simply close it and I right click on it and click on inspect from here, and I simply have to first of all select the image. So this is the image. You can see that if I just open it, you can see that this is the image we have to get from here, URL. So for that I am simply going to right click on here and click on the copy and copy selector, and I go to the console and simply type here $, then in here I simply type this giant path and then text. Okay, and when I press enter you will see nothing. Okay, so we don't have to type here text, we have to type here the source, because we know that whenever we want to get the image we type src. So I type here .attr attribute and then I type here the src and I press enter, you will see undefined here, because we also have to type here image, because we have to select the image. So I simply get back and just add here this bracket and then image. Now if I press enter, you can see that I get the image here. You can see that this is the image. Okay, so I just repeat it once again. First of all, we use this .text method. We know that image does not contain any text. It contains the src, which stands for source of that image. So I just use .attribute then this source, and we get error, we get undefined here, because we have to also specify that we have to select the source of the image. So after a I type img. Okay, now I simply copy this from here, which is our image query, Control C, and I go back to my Visual Studio Code, and here I type let img URL equals to this, like that. Okay, I think we have to verify that first of all, because we have done a lot of work here. So what I do, I simply return from here title, the release date, this release date, and this is not release data, this is release date. Okay, so I also change it here, and then I have to type here overview, then the user score, then image URL, and I simply go back to here, and now I have to pass this data to the template. Okay, and before that I cut this from here, and we have to call it right here after returning the values. Okay, so sorry, before returning the values. Okay, if we get our values in the variables, then we will simply close that browser like that. Okay, so we have to basically type this line before they're done. Okay, so I go back and now we have to render the template, that is res.render. I type here results and we have to pass this data with this one. Okay, simply save that, and now if I go back to my results.ejs, and now we have to change here our all data. So first of all, I simply replace this title. I type here this EJS tags, then I type here data, and in that data we have to get the title like that. Okay, and I simply copy it from here, copy and paste it right here with this, and change it to release date. And after that we have to also change this overview text. So I simply delete that and paste that code right here and change it to overview like that. Okay, and also we have to type here the user score. So I simply type here data and then the user score. Then we have to display this percentage size with that, so I simply made it here. And this is the feature crew, we don't have scrap that yet, so I simply also have to this URL. So I simply delete that URL from here. And I simply type here this one, and I type here image, and it was image URL like that. Okay, and also I have to replace here, so I type here this again, title dot to uppercase like that. Okay, so I hope so that this will work for us. Okay, and let's first of all check it out. I simply save that, go to app.js and simply save that here again, and also I delete this function, save that, and now if I go back to my Chrome browser and just I type here search, and I copy this URL from here, Control C, and paste it right here, and click on search movie. You can see that we got some error here, says that title of undefined. Okay, so we have to go back, and here we have passed the data title. So the error is title of undefined. So this was data title dot to uppercase. So if I go back to my app.js and check it out, what is going on. So the error was to this one, which says if I go back, it says title of undefined. If I go back and simply check out here the await keyword for this one, just await, and we also have to type here await, because we have to await until Cherio loads the complete HTML. Okay, so I simply save that, and I hope that it will work. If I go back again and reload it, you will see the same error here again. Go back again and see here what is going on. So you can see that here. Okay, so SEARCH, we have typed here wrong spelling. Now if I save that, and I'll check if it's worked or not. If I go back and reload that again, so now the link is loading here successfully, and let's see what happened. Okay, so if I just go back and see here, ATRR, we have misspelled that. That was ATTR. I think that when we do it on here, then I get the same error. If I simply just hover over it, and now if I go to here and type dollar this one dot ATTR attribute, and I have to type here this attribute, which is data percent, and paste that here. Now if I press enter, you can see that I get 81 here. Just before that I have misspelled my ATTR. I just type here ATRR, so that's why it give us error at that time. Okay, so it worked also here. So if I go back and change it here, now if I save that, now I hope so that it will work for us. If I go back to my Chrome browser and reload it once again, and our Chrome is loading the link. Okay, so now you can see that we get our result here, but you can see that the image is blurred here. Okay, so the data is perfect, 1917 2019, 81%, and the description is also correct. Okay, now there's issue with this image. If I open it in new tab, you can see that we have here filter blur. If I just remove it from here and press enter, you can see that I get the original image. So to do that, I simply go back to my here, and I simply replace that with nothing. Okay, so simply type here image URL equals to image URL dot replace we have to replace this with nothing. So I simply copy it from here, copy that, and now if I go back and paste it right here and save that, now if I go back and reload it, and now you can see that we get our perfect image here. Okay, so we have fixed our all things, and one thing is remaining, that we also have to fetch this feature CRUD, which is right here, these tools. So we're going to do that in our next video. So I hope that you have learned from this video, and in our next video we're going to complete this project. So I will see you in the next video. Okay, so welcome back to this course. Now this is the last video of this section in which I'm going to complete this project. Okay, so we have now scrap this information, that is feature CRUD. Okay, so for that I simply first of all close these two images from here and just click on inspect, and you can see that here in the basically, if you can check it here, this is the people no image class that contains this information, and in this class we have li, two li's, one for this and one for this, and li we have one paragraph. Basically we have two paragraphs. One paragraph contains anchor tag for the name, and one paragraph contains the character, which is director or screenplay or stuff like that. Okay, so we have to scrap these two first of all. Okay, if I just type here, like I just scrap it with character, Control C from here, and go here and type dot character and press here dot txt, you can see that I get a lot of content from here. I get all the results, but I want to get only this result here. Okay, the reason is that the character tag is used everywhere for these people also. So for that we have to be very specific for that. So to do that, I simply first of all I have to select the name. So I simply click on that, right click and copy selector, click on that, and now if I just type here and I just paste it in here and then dot txt text, and you can see that I get this perfect result here. Okay, so we can also modify it. If I just get it back again, now we can do is we can remove this stuff from here, because we have to specific. This is the OL that contains class of people no image, and over that we have a class that is header info. Okay, so we have to scrape from this part. Okay, so you can see that div.header info, and after that all that stuff. If I remove that from here and I press just enter, you will see an error here because we forgot to put the quotation. So if I just add here and press enter, you can see that I get the same result. So this is the query that will give us the name of that member. So I copy that from here, I go back, and I simply have to do a lot of work here for this. First of all, I type here let name equals to this, and also we have to get the role for that, which is director or writer. So for that I go back and just right click, copy selector, then I just type here again and I just paste it right here and press enter. You can see that I again get the director and screenplay. Perfect result. I get that query back, and now I simply remove this also, and now if I press enter, you can see that I get the same result. So I simply copy it from here, Control C, and I just paste it here, let role equals to this one, like that. Okay, so now you have to do a lot of work when you do that stuff. You have to find the best query to scrape that data. Okay, so when I do this project, I first of all remove all 3 or 4 from here, then I remove one by one all the tags, and until this tag I get my result. Okay, so you have to write very specific query to get specific data. Okay, so now I get the name and the role, like director or writer. Now we know that the crew members may be 2, 3 or 4 or 5, and we have to start a loop there, and for that loop we have to also count the length of that crew members. For that, what I do is I simply go back here and I get this query back, and I type here, I remove this from here. You can see that if I go back to here, in OL, in this class which is the header info, in that we have OL ordered list which has class paper no image, and in that unordered list I have 2 list items, 1 and 2. This means that there are 2 items or 2 members right now in this page. So what we can do is we can count these LIs, and then we can use that to display our data. So what I do is I simply type here div.headerinfo OL then LI, and if I just press enter, you can see that here in this object you can see that length is equal to 2. I get 2 length here. Okay, so this is query that will help us to count the number of members on this page. So in this case this is 2. I simply copy that from here, copy, and then I simply at the top let crew length equals to this dot length. Okay, like that. If I just do it here, there, I just get back there and type here dot length, you can see that I get 2 here. The length is 2. Okay, so now we have to start a loop here, and then we have to push all the members one by one in that array. So for that, simply I create an array here, let crew, which is empty array. Then I do is I start a for loop here, for let I equals to 0, I less than crew length, and then I plus plus. Then in this loop, first of all, I have to get the name of the first person its name and its role. So I just paste that here, and after getting its name and role, I have to push that data in that array. So I type here is CRUD dot push, and I push a object here that says name should be this name and the role should be this one. Okay, and at first it scrapes the name and role of this first person, and this is Sam Mendes, and then it pushed that name and role in that array. After that, its value changed to, okay, so we have to start loop from here 1. Okay, and also you can see that here, if I go back to here, and now you can see that this query is for the first element of li. Okay, so we have to type here this I, because okay, so I have to use double quotations here, and I type here I, because this is for the first element. I have to change this I dynamically. It first of all get the nth element 1, then it get 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then so on. Okay, and after we always have to get the first paragraph. You can see that this is the first paragraph in this li. So for first li, we always have to get the first paragraph to get the name, which is this one. Okay, and for the role, we have to scrape the second paragraph. So what I do is I simply also type here ++ and I, like that. Okay, so I hope that you understand. I just repeat it once again. This li nth element of 1 will give us the first li, but that is this one. Okay, but we also have to get the second one. So for that, I have start the loop here and just pass I here rather than 1. Okay, in the same I pass here I. Okay, so in this way we get our name and role for the first person, and we push that in our array. And now we have to pass this array. So I simply type here CRUD, and also simply save that and go back to my results.ejs, and also I have to change here. I have to start a loop here. So what I do is I simply type here data of CRUD, and after that we have to get dot for each. I have to start a loop here for each CRUD member. I have to display the data like that. Okay, first of all put the tags, and also I have to put tags here, and I just cut this line, Control X, and just paste it here like that. Okay, and I have to just remove the C from here, and after that I have to first of all display the name. So what I do is I simply type here CRUD dot name, and then I have to display its role. It is director or writer or something like that. Okay, so I just remove it from here and paste it here and change it to role like that. Okay, so I simply save that, and I hope that it will work. If I simply also save it, so server started, I go back, and now if I just reload that, and you can see that we get here Sam Mendes, this one. Okay, and we don't get our second person here, we get only the first one. If I go back and see my loop, which was right there. Okay, so 1, also you have to put here equals to, because first of all it is 1, and second time because length is 2, so 2 is less than 2 is false, so we also have to put here equals to. Now if I save that and go back and reload it once again, And here we go. Now you can see that we get our two results right here. Okay, so I hope that you understand. So the two names of that, first of all this one and then this one for the screenplay. Okay, now let's test another movie and just close it. I go back and let's open this one, Dr. Sleep, and I just copy it from here, the link, go back and just change it here and search movie. And you can see that we get our result perfect here. Dr. Sleep 2019 and all that result here. Okay, so I hope that you understand what we have done in this video. So now as our work is done, now we can simply go back and change headless to true. Okay, so simply save that. And now if I go back and give another movie URL here, like this Terminator, copy a link from here and paste it here, click on search movie. Now you can see that browser is not right here, browser is hidden from us. Okay, but it is running in the background, it is not visible to us. And here we go, we get our result for Terminator. Here you can see that all the crew members here and all that stuff here, like that. Okay, so I hope that you understand what we have done in this project. We have simply scraped our web page and get our results. Okay, so it is always recommended to use API rather than web scraping, because web scraping also takes a lot of time. You can see that we have to find a specific selector to get that specific result. Okay, but API is more efficient to use, and also API is fast. In the case of web scraping, first of all the web page loads, and then we have to scrape that basically data from that website. And we have seen that from this simple project that how we have to work hard to scrape a website. We have to find all these tags one by one to scrape the data. So this is the basic idea of web scraping, that we get our data without API from any website, like that. I hope that you understand this project. Anyhow, if you feel any problem in understanding anything about this project, you can definitely ask me a question or message me. I am always here to help you, and I will explain it again if you need that. Okay, so I will see you in the next section.